Esoterinerd podcast, episode 41. Surprise! It's coming out on Friday instead of Monday. Gila had to reschedule her interview, so that episode will not be coming out this coming Monday. It will be coming out the following Monday. So I don't know if we'll have an episode between now and then, so we'll count this episode as the February 15th episode, even though it's going to come out on in the wee hours of February 13th. I was going to save it for Monday, but then as I was Googling Theoricus Poker, I discovered that at the open source order of the Golden Dawn, at 1 p.m. on Saturday, February 13th, someone's giving a class on Theoricus Poker. What? And they say Theoricus Poker is a variant of Liar's Poker. Okay, Liar. No, it's not a variant of anything. Theoricus Poker was a pure, spontaneous creation by me, a frater in a Golden Dawn order that has nothing to do with... No, I love you guys. I appreciate the link. You gave me a link, and I totally appreciate that. Theoricus Poker is not a variant of Liar's Poker. I don't know what Liar's Poker is, but Theoricus Poker is not a variant of it. Anyway, for more about Theoricus Poker, let's get to that interview, shall we? Greetings, Frater VFD. Ave. Drew. Is it okay that I revealed that on the air? I can always edit it later. So, okay, so I thought that this would be cool. Now, there's this thing that I wrote a while back. I don't know exactly when. I mean, I put it in a blog post in like 2011, but it was something that kind of existed in a rough format before that, but it wasn't something that I really, really got serious about. But I did write a set of rules, and someone posted it on Reddit, and apparently a few people started playing it, so I figured, let's go ahead and play it. And I explained it briefly, I believe in episode 2, the one with Kes Fry. By the way, Kes Fry is going to be in town, and he has a new book, so I'm going to be interviewing him soon. I don't know if that's going to be this next coming week or the week after, but it'll be soon.
Cool.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is simultaneously we're going to be talking about the key phrases for the minor arcana as we go, and this is traditional Golden Dawn key phrases. And we've also got the invisible paths on the Tree of Life here. Source unknown on that one.
And what are we playing?
And we're playing Theoricus Poker.
Cool.
Now, Theoricus Poker, basically, the rules are very simple. And also, those of you who've been listening to the last few episodes will already know about the David Bowie Oracle Cards. And also, those of you who've really been paying close attention will already have deduced that this was inspired by Lon Milo Duquette's stories about, in particular, his Mark Twain divination method.
Samuel Clemens.
Yeah, and it was how I was talking to him about David Bowie, and he was kind of like politely saying, well, I was never a huge David Bowie fan, but I was really into Mark Twain. I thought he was a god, and I made an oracle out of him, and I'm thinking, well, that's kind of how I feel about David Bowie, so why not? And it's funny because I get these responses from the David Bowie Oracle deck that, I mean, out of context, they're very funny, like, please don't believe in me, please disagree with me, or don't deceive with belief, knowledge comes with death's release, So it's kind of like, is this oracle working? And it says, better come back home. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's working. It's telling me I'm too far out. So if we run up against an issue where we can't figure out the answer, then we'll ask David Bowie, and we'll use...
It's like David Bowie answering your question in an ironic way.
Right now, I've only made the first 6 decks, but I call the first deck 0, like, in the spirit of of the Fool being deck 0, but in this case it's because he was Davy Jones, and it was the Liza Jane single. So it wasn't an album, and it wasn't David Bowie. So it's 0. And then 1 is his first actual album. There's that album they're putting out there that's called David Bowie 1966. That's a revisionist thing. I think I'm missing one of my key cards, but I'll have to substitute one in. Oh no, here it is. Okay, so if that comes up, it'll come up. So we're doing a variation on Theoricus Poker, where with the David Bowie Oracle deck on the side. Anyhow, I suppose you can take this very seriously and invoke Haru and David Bowie and light a solitary candle and listen to Black Star if you want to take it on that level. But we're just gonna play it. Okay, so basically I'll explain the rules. I've got a whole deck here. By that I mean an entire Chicken Sandra Tabitha Cicero traditional Golden Dawn Ritual Tarot. I suppose any other tarot deck will work, but you know, I'm picky, so I use this one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna shuffle it, and we're gonna each get 7 cards. Well, I'll just do it, and I'll explain it as we go. All right.
7 cards a la poker.
So, okay, I'll explain while I'm shuffling. We each get 7 cards, and then there's the pile. What's that? Is there a name for that? There's the deck. We put it down, and that's the pile.
There's probably a name for it.
And it's face down, so we can't see what card's on top. Oh, that's no good. And we'll just pretend that didn't happen. And so then there's... Then what happens? I don't know. Well, we'll get there. There's sort of like a discard pile, but it's not a discard pile. It's a pile. It's like it's sort of like Super Poker or Pasoi, where you someone has the lowest card, which in this case, I don't know what that would be. I think someone has the Fool. I think that's what it was. You start with the Fool. You see if anybody has the Fool, and if nobody has the Fool, then you see if anybody has the Magician, and so on. Okay, so that's enough shuffling for now, hopefully. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. I feel like I'm a teenager again. Okay, let's pick these up. All right, so don't tell me what cards you have, but I think I needed to shuffle a bit better. Do you have the Fool?
I do not.
Do you have the Magician?
I do not.
Do you have the High Priestess?
I do.
Okay, so go ahead and put the High Priestess down face up. And I have to put down something that... Oh, and we don't have the Tree of Life right in front of us. Do you have it all memorized? I have it all memorized. Okay, so we're good. And then we've got this here. So what I need to do is put down a card that connects with that card. And by connect with that card, it pretty much means anything. So depending on how well you know your correspondences, you can find things that connect with that card. That's kind of the point of the game. It's why it's called Theoricus Poker, but a philosophist can kick a Theoricus' ass. And a Theoricus, you can call bullshit. So if you put down a card and you don't explain how it's connected, the other person can say bullshit. But if the other person that put it down can explain how it's connected to the satisfaction of everyone playing, then the person who called bullshit has to pick up the entire pile. And the object is to run out of cards.
Gotcha.
So you put that down, and did you pick one up?
No, I did not.
Okay, I don't know if you pick one up. I don't think you do.
Well, if you're going to try to run out of cards, you can't keep picking them up every time you put them down.
Yeah. So the game is kind of like a game in progress, but I'm going to go ahead and keep moving forward with the game. So the High Priestess, that connects Keter with Tiferet. So, technically, a wand card, especially the King of Wands, refers to absolute. And therefore, Keter, and therefore is connected to the High Priestess. Bam! Now, what I should have done is just not explained why I threw down the King of Wands, and then you could have called bullshit, and then I would have explained that, and then you would have had to take both of them. But so that's basically the gist of the game.
All right, so now working off the King of Wands.
Now, also keep in mind the King of Wands connects Chokmah with Gebura, as well as
being
a king, being
associated with Keter.
Associated with Keter and Absolute, and one could say Chokmah, because the Yod aspect.
Let's see here.
The father, the king. Tradition! Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children. The Prince of Wands. Okay. Fair enough. So the Prince of Wands connects with
Tiferet, which is connected to your line there.
So which line? Oh, well, there's the wand connection too.
Yeah.
It's just they're both wands. Fair enough. Like Uno, they're both wands. So kind of, let's see. Prince of Wands. Well, I'll go ahead and throw down a 10 of Wands. It's wands. It's wands. Maybe we should be drawing from the deck and then try to run out of cards, because we'll finish this game quickly and then we'll try it the other way. And see if that's fun.
Is the point of the game to win or to know what you're doing and to learn?
To know what you're doing and to learn, and maybe to make up stories as you go. So
it's an exercise.
So what's the story so far?
As you go. So maybe the winning part isn't.
The High Priestess came to town. The King of Wands brought her downtown. I mean, you can interpret that how you want, but the Prince of Wands was there too. Again, it's all open to interpretation, but it was.
And then she was oppressed.
It was oppression.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a sad story. That's the thing with Enochian chess, I hear. Apparently it works with Theoricus Poker too. But then I could tell a different story. Okay, the High Priestess came to town. Da-da-da-da! And she brought her wisdom to the King of Wands. And he rode forth and he brought it to the Prince of Wands, who oppressed everybody. That's supposed to be the loser horn from Price is Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, so you can go with the Malkut thing. Okay. So we're jumping up to Chokmah, but it's the Two of Wands. Okay, so we're still riding the Wands. I think I want to break out of the Wands, so I'm going to go with, the Empress. She connects Chokmah with Binah, so therefore is connected with Chokmah, therefore I can throw it down right now.
Okay, shit. Let's see.
Shit. Oh, shit. I'm experiencing blended pleasure right now.
See, one of the tricks is if I go through the tree in order, I can remember where every card is. But just looking at it and visualizing it in my head is still a little fuzzy.
Oh, I see.
Because we're learning, I feel like this is right here, but I could be wrong. That could be the Chariot. No, the Chariot's higher.
Well, that's from Gebura to Hod, but the Empress is from Chokmah to Binah.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said, oh no, that's the Chariot up there that I was thinking of. All right, let's see here.
But the great Mother Isis of nature and Odin were both in American Gods by Neil Gaiman together? No. That's cheating.
Oh, wait, so let me see here. Oh, you know what? Since the Empress, okay.
So
those two.
I wonder how this...
All right, well here, this is a 3. The 3 of Swords is associated with Binah.
All right, fair enough.
I guess I'm not supposed to explain it, but
No, you got it. Okay, so the 3...
I'm willing to do poorly to learn, so.
Yeah, so this is Hey Vav, and then Zion, and then Chet. Zion, Chet. Have I got a Zion or a Chet? Okay, no. Well, I could go with the whole Queen. Queen is Binah, Binah, sorrow.
Yeah,
totally. So we got the sorrow of the three of... So, okay, continuing the story. So the High Priestess came to town, right? That much we know for sure. The King of Wands was there too. Now, we don't know exactly what went on, but there was a King of Wands, and there was a High Priestess, and then there was a Prince of Wands. That much we know for sure.
Illegitimate.
And then there was oppression. Now, whether the oppression was going on within the family, one would assume that it'd be the dad against the son, or maybe the dad against the mom and the son, but those are assumptions. Maybe it was the High Priestess oppressing everybody. I don't know. So that's where it's kind of open to some interpretation. But then there was dominion, and then there was the Empress. So
the High
is the
Priestess
Empress the High Priestess becomes the Empress,
right?
When oppression becomes dominion,
right?
So it might have been her oppressing them, but eventually
maybe she
grew into a sense of confidence and stopped oppressing, and just was the powerful one in the family, the Nephthys, the lady. Maybe
the house. She was oppressing the king to only have her as a lover, and then ended up becoming the queen as a result.
Yeah, and then there was sorrow.
The Empress, I should say.
Then there was great sorrow, and the Three of Swords, and then along comes the Queen of Pentacles,
which was his
different
other
character,
love.
different character. So there's the Empress and there's the Queen of Pentacles now. Yeah. So let's see where this goes. Did you throw that down, or did I? I threw that down.
You threw that down.
Okay, so it's your turn. I have 3 cards. You have 3 cards. Okay. So, by the way, the Queen of Pentacles connects Malkut with Chesed.
Because you know, on the invisible path?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, it's on here. Queen of Pentacles. But she's also associated with Binah.
Right.
All right, so...
And Pentacles are associated with Malkut.
Right. So she's the Binah of Malkut, in a way.
But if you were to say Keter is in Malkut and Malkut is in Keter and primordial earth exists in Keter, I would let you get away with it. Because that's how you play. That's why the Philosophist does better than the Theoricus. But if you're just playing with a Theoricus and a Philosophist, the Theoricus will never go along with that. But if you have 5 Philosophi and 1 Theoricus...
Peace restored.
Peace restored. Oh, thank God. Okay. So things are good. Now, that's the 2 of Swords. So we got Chokmah happening. And Chokmah, the path of Hay, the Emperor, connects Chokmah with Tiferet. So I'm going to put down the Emperor. Bam! Wait, who's this Emperor anyway? Was he the King of Wands? No, I think we've got like a chauvinist Disney fairy tale happening. I think we should break out of this mold and try. What's that test to see if there's 2 women that have a conversation about something other than a man? I think so far our narrative fails that test.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So let me start over. Okay, so the High Priestess. I don't know why she comes to town. I figure she comes to town. But the King of Wands, maybe the King of Wands was already there. So she shows up in town, and the King of Wands is there. And then, that's interesting, but then the Prince of Wands comes along. And there's oppression. Okay, well, there's clearly something going on, and I think it seems like maybe I was right. We were right. There's a dynamic happening. It's a family coming together, and then there's dominion. Now, whether that's the dominion of the High Priestess or the dominion of the King of Wands, maybe that...
Or the family that is now secure,
yeah,
and is a rightful ruler.
The family itself has
ruling
dominion.
Family,
and then there's the Empress, or maybe that's the answer to the question: who has dominion? The Empress, formerly the High Priestess, and then there's the sorrow. Maybe the baby is miscarried because the Empress is pregnant, And then there's the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe the Empress does become the Queen of Pentacles. She's sort of a darker figure. That's interesting. Wow, that's a trip. It's kind of heavy, actually. And then there's Peace Restored. And then there's the Emperor. Huh. So all of that, this whole roundabout journey.
Yeah, I mean,
What a trip.
maybe the High Priestess.
So it implies that there was an Empress before. Either that or the Prince of Wands, because a Prince of Wands doesn't just show up. It starts off as a baby, you know? I mean, unless this is like, well, in the first 20 years this happened. But I don't get that
was an
vibe.
illegitimate
I feel
child.
like he was already there.
Yeah.
There was a Prince of Wands that was maybe an illegitimate child, or the mom was dead, and he's in the picture. And so there was oppression, and then eventually dominion, and then she's the Empress, and she's pregnant, and she miscarries, and then she becomes the Queen of Pentacles. And then there's Peace Restored. Maybe the son feels bad, and then she's willing to concede that, maybe you ought to be the next king, and after all, you helped me when I was in need. And then finally the Emperor, then the king of, then this
Prince,
rash King of
the
Wands
Prince now
figure.
becomes the Emperor.
Oh, the Prince becomes the Emperor.
Because the sorrow is because the king passed away.
Oh.
So she becomes the queen. Not just the wife of the king.
Well, maybe it's not a
queen,
miscarriage,
But she's
then.
the queen.
Yeah, well, maybe
Exactly. Maybe
So
there's
she
another
has the baby.
younger brother. But
but
it's because the king dies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But so there's going to be competition later when the kid grows up and he's the legitimate son. Or unless it depends on the situation with if it was a widow with a legitimate queen, or if it was an illegitimate like peasant or something. Now we're back in the Disney.
Yeah, but you know what? It's often. Let's just say that I don't know, Henry VIII, for example.
Oh, did I?
Is a bad example.
Oh, no.
But let's just say. Let's just say that a king has a wife, who's the queen. They have a child. It is legitimately the next king in line.
Right.
Wife passes away. He meets a new queen, takes a new queen. Then he passes away. She's still the queen, and the son, the initial son, is still the next in line to be king.
Right.
So she's the mother queen, or what? I don't know what the terminology for it is, but it's
okay.
Still legitimate.
So this is a good form of script writing. Actually, this is a good. Okay, so it's your turn. Or no, I think we should just randomly ask David Bowie. Let's ask David Bowie. What were we just talking about? What were the Emperor? Okay, are we right? Wait, what spin should we put on this, David Bowie? Okay, we got the key cards, and as of now, there's only 6 key cards. So, all right, go ahead and pick one. All right, what is it?
David Bowie, Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory. Okay, let me get Hunky Dory. Got the whole deck on that one. David Bowie says, "I'm frightened by the total goal." Okay, well, that's fair enough. All right.
So that's me, right?
What is the total goal? Oh. Hey. Hey. Well, it has to do with the American God, first of all. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so that's mine.
Harmonious.
Illusion is called illusionary.
Illusionary success. The 7 of Cups. Mm-hmm. To go on the Emperor. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call bullshit. Can you explain to me why?
Sure. Because see that right there?
The Scorpio?
It's ruled by Mars, and so is Aries.
Oh! So the 7 of Cups has an aspect where it's Venus in Scorpio, and it rules over a couple of Shem angels that are in the Venus in Scorpio part of the spectrum. And so therefore he's saying that since Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio,
what's the natural rule?
that's the connection. That day house Mars is Aries, and that's the Emperor. That corresponds with the Emperor, the heaven of Messiah of the Emperor. And night house Mars is the location of Venus in the part of the sky where the Shem angels exist that are ruled by the 7 of Cups, which is illusionary success. Okay, well, I'll give it to you. I got to pick up the deck. Shit.
I thought it was just pick up 3 cards.
Yeah. No, I'll pick up the deck. That's the rules.
Well, no. Pick up cards from here, because otherwise we have the same thing.
Oh, yeah, then it gets really boring.
Right, yeah.
Okay, good call. Now, how did I do? What did I just do?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that, what? Oh, that means
You pick from here, maybe.
maybe I draw 7 cards because of the 7 of Cups.
Ooh.
Or something. Okay, yeah, well, let's say, no, I'll just say draw 1.
All right.
That's kind of a light punishment. But yeah, that is a good point. In the rules as it's written, you pick up the whole deck. But maybe that works better when you're playing with a larger group. But anyway, we're just playing with 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I picked up a card. I'm going to put down the card I just picked up, which is the 3 of Cups. I'm putting it on top of his 7 of Cups. So abundance goes on top of illusionary success. So back to our narrative. The Emperor, who used to be this Prince of Wands character that finally got along with the High Priestess that became the Empress after the King of Wands died and grew up and became the Emperor. You know, that guy. We'll call him Clifford. Is that a good name?
Sure.
And his father was Benjamin, and his mom, the High Priestess that became the Empress, of course, was
Gimel.
No, that's not a very good name. We'll call her Ishtar. She was Ishtar. And so then the Emperor had illusionary success, but then eventually he had abundance. So he was able to move from Netsack of the water world, in which the gold that eternally reaches for the sun but dies before it can reach it, exists in an emotional sense, and was able to gravitate up to the Divine Mother weeping sorrowfully at the self-inflicted whatnot in the worlds below from an emotional level, which somehow comes through as abundance. That's where you have the 3 girls dancing in the Rider-Waite. Anytime there's 3 girls dancing, it's just abundance. There's a lot of paintings. Anyway, so your turn.
Give me just one.
Okay. I'll ask David Bowie a question while you're doing that. Hey, David Bowie. How's it going? Let's see. All right, I got David Bowie, deck 1. He says, the homeward road is long.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Okay. I'm going to pull up a couple more cheat sheets here for myself.
All right. I'll smoke a little bit of creative inspiration juice. Oh, okay, so you put the
Hangman.
The Hanged Man on the abundance card. So yeah, that's fair. So he, through his realization of the illusionary success of what he, and moving from that into abundance, he was able to find mastery over the water element. He became a wise. You got Odin here hanging from his foot. Speaking of American gods, yeah, cool. All right. Well, what am I going to do with that? I guess I'll have to put down abandoned success. He just walks away, like Buddha. He says, "You know what? I've become. Well, I mean, the mem is rough. It's the path that connects Hod with Gibura. There's this whole speech, not to give any spoilers or too many spoilers, but there's this whole speech in the Portal Initiation about, what the fuck are you doing? Are you serious? And the people who know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. But it's basically like, oh, okay. You wanna weigh your heart and your little hope, your candle, up against the ocean of sorrows all the world. Okay, before you even make it up to Tiferet, you're ready to take on the path of Mem, you idiot. And then you don't go that way. It's the don't go that way, never go that way. If he'd have gone that way, he would have gone straight to Gebura. And anyway, so go from there to abandon success. So he ended up in Gebura, and he was being really hard on himself, so he abandoned all of his success. He just left the palace one day, and he walked out at night. And your turn.
I'm out of cards.
Oh, you're out of cards. You won.
I went out last.
It went out. Oh, you went out with the Hanged Man.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so I got stuck with abandoned success and valor. Oh, well, that's good. I mean, I suppose, right? What does it mean to be left with something in this game? Left with that in your hand. That's what the gods have said that you have. Wow, these cards are a trip. Okay, so that's the simple version of Theoricus Poker. Should we try like a more advanced variation?
Sure.
Maybe let's do like what we were talking about, the war version.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will entail that every time we put down a card, we have to agree which one is the higher card. So, in Pasoi or Super Poker, it's diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades, with diamonds at the lowest and spades at the highest. In our case, it'd be Yod, Hey, Vav, Hays, just to make it kind of rhyme with diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades. And also, it'd be starting on the top, because Yod is at the top, obviously. So, wands are at the top, but that's when, like, if he puts down a 2 of cups, if I need to beat it, my card better be a 2 of wands. So, like, you won't run into the war situation as much. I mean, that'll be interesting to see if we ever do run into a situation where we have to do the war thing. If we do,
I don't know how that would
if we
work.
get a tie, if we get cards that tie somehow, like if it's the ace of wands and the king of wands, then which one's higher? Like, I think we might have to do war on that one. But anyway. Okay, so I'm dividing it up in half. Maybe I'll put some music in here. I haven't consciously registered what card that is that has that little wrinkle on it, so that's good. I try to, like, omit that information. Do you ever try to, like, not memorize a phone number that you call all the time? Yeah, it doesn't really happen anymore. I still have phone numbers memorized from when I was a kid. Like girls that I liked in kindergarten and 3rd grade. Still have the phone numbers memorized.
Yeah, I don't anymore. I did for a while, but I kind of pushed that information out of my head when
yeah.
At some point, probably when I started learning
So
planetary angels and junk.
So we don't look at them. We just go with the top card and we just put it down.
All right,
you ready? Hua! Okay, so he put down the 10 of cups and I put down the chariot. I'm pretty sure that the chariot is higher than the 10 of cups.
I'm going to say you're right.
Okay. So, like, should we explain for the audience? I mean, the 10 is Malkut. The chariot is up there connecting Binah with Gebura.
It's higher up the tree.
It's higher up the tree. Yeah, okay. So that's basically the rule for this version of war with the tarot is where is it on the tree? Which one's higher on the tree? Okay. Wham! I put down the Fool.
Jeez.
That's kind of one of the highest cards on the tree. He put down the Wheel of Fortune. I think we agree. The Fool is higher on the tree. Okay. I put down the 5 of Cups. He put down Death. Okay, Death. 5 of Cups is Gebura is higher on the tree than Death is. Do you have any alternative interpretations? Okay, I got that one.
Go back real quick to the last one we just played. We played the Fool.
I put down the Fool, and you put down the Wheel of
There's
Fortune.
no way to go above the Fool because it's
an ace.
It's a 0. Yeah,
An ace will go above the Fool.
That's true. That's true.
But you could argue that 0 is higher than 1. That's true, also.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But that'd be a debate. That'd be a question for David Bowie. Okay. Okay. So Temperance or the 9 of Wands. Temperance is higher than the 9 of Wands. That one's yours.
Okay.
Although Wands are higher than Temperance, but the 9, I guess. I guess we're going with the number.
You gotta go
just for
with
simplicity's sake.
its
Oh
place
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
tree?
Oh right. If I had put down the 9 of Cups, then yours would have been higher. So the in this version, the suit only is used to determine within a sephirot, a sephirot.
Okay.
Or king, queen, knight,
Right.
or
Right.
okay, so it's totally yours.
Okay,
so
cool.
Temperance is obviously above Yesod, so there it is. Let's try to keep it on the white though. This is my actual sacred
okay.
divinatory
Let's do
deck.
that.
It's funny because I have like 30 decks, but if we're gonna play Theoricus Poker, I feel like we should use my real Golden Dawn deck.
Yeah.
But I always tell people don't use your divinatory deck. But I honestly use this. I keep this wrapped in cloth, and I use my Celtic tarot for divination when I do divination. But anyway,
Ready?
okay, wham. 5 or the Devil? The Devil is lower than 5. Would all agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Bam. Okay. The old Temperance or the regular Justice? Justice is higher. Bam. It's yours.
Yeah, both Temperance in here. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, of course. All right.
I think I'm gonna have to.
Oh, Ace of Swords. That's pretty high up. Prince of Cups. You win. You win.
Boom.
Okay, the Star or the 3 of Wands? The 3 of Wands. It's yours.
Boom. 9 of Pentacles.
Strength?
Or Strength. Oh.
Or
Yesod
Yesod.
is gonna be
Yeah,
yours,
yeah.
yeah.
Strength is higher.
I think the
Queen
Magician.
of Wands or the Magician? Well, Wands are higher, and the Queen is, you could say, Binah.
Yes, but
Magician
the
connects.
Magician is between them. So
Wow. Okay,
technically
we're
closer.
tied. I think we're tied.
Okay.
Should we ask David Bowie or should we
Yeah.
go war?
I think let's just do war.
Okay.
That's pretty close.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and whammo. I put down Ruin, the 10 of Swords,
I put
and
down
he put down
Dominion.
Dominion, the 2 of Wands. All right, that's yours. Let's see what you got. You got my Empress. You got Despair and Cruelty, the 9 of Swords. Congratulations. You got the Queen of Pentacles.
Cool. So I got a queen and I didn't lose my prince.
Yeah,
So that's good. That's
cool, cool. And so in this version of the game, the person who ends up with all the cards wins. Because
war.
it's based on war,
Yeah.
but it's the tarot version of war. All right. So Judgment's higher than the 10 of Wands by only a little.
No,
But
well,
Wands are way
but
up
it-
here. But they're both fire.
Well, but here's the thing. This would be the same kind of war situation, right?
Maybe. Could be.
Because mine was a path, and yours
Keter
was
is
the next
represented
one.
here, and Malkuth is in Keter, and Keter's in Malkuth. No,
Well, you know
that's
what I'm
too-
saying, though?
Kid.
I think it would
Go.
be another war because
Okay.
by the same rules, if you're going to go with this was the path that I had,
Well,
this was this one.
strictly speaking, Shin connects Hod with Malkuth, and the 10 of Wands is Malkuth, because we agreed that the suits only determine within the Sephirot. So clearly, Judgment is higher than Malkuth. So who put down Judgment? Was it me or you?
It was you,
Okay.
but just so I'm clear, because I want to understand what's going on.
Right.
Um,
I mean, it's
based on the last one.
Based
you had
on-
the representation of Binah,
oh,
and I had Mercury, the magician, which is between that and
yeah,
this
you're
one.
right. Okay, so you won that one.
But because we did it,
Right.
I'm just understanding so we have the rules that are the same. Because this would be the same kind of scenario.
Okay. You're right. So based on the logic of that, so if we're going to be consistent, then that war shouldn't have happened. That
Okay.
yours.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, then this would definitely be yours.
So
and
the
then-
queen is always Binah. The king is always Chokmah. Should we go by that? Because the uppermost tip of the Yod only touches Keter. Even though some diagrams attribute Yod to Keter.
Right.
Okay, so we're determining that all kings are Chokmah, all queens are Binah. In this context, the aces, Keter, are genderless and are higher than the kings.
Mm-hmm.
The princes are the Ruach, so it's basically everything from Chesed to Yesod. So it's higher than Gebura, let's say, because it touches the uppermost point of the potential of mankind is the blue-suited chief adept / Aaron's robe high priest Levitical thing, the Chesed, the 7 equals 4, the premonstrator.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the highest that Vav reaches. And it's also, well, there's another portal spoiler there, but you might actually get to experience it one day. So I won't give away too many of those right now.
Yeah, about a year from now, probably.
Yeah, no, there's just remember which there's a river of Eden that connects Tiferet with Malkut. Do you remember that one? They mention it twice in the 4-7. Well, anyway,
It's not
Frat.
Frat?
Frat.
Oh, it's Frat.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was trying to remember the pronunciation.
There's a spoiler that a few people out there are going, oh, he's not giving away the spoiler. That's good of him, at least. Even though he'll give all this other stuff away, but he won't give the little spoiler away to someone who doesn't already
when everything
know.
is restored, it's going to be up here, I assume. But that's just my...
Well, that is
understanding of it.
one way of looking at it.
Okay.
But there's a whole other thing. But basically, what I'm saying now will make sense.
Okay, I'll remember.
When you get to that point. But it has to do with the highest that Vav touches is Chesed. So basically, if you're trying to outrank a 5, you can.
The Yetziratic world. in other
Right.
words.
You can outrank a 5, but a 4 is a tie. A 4 ties with a prince.
Okay.
And that could be interesting if they're the same suit. Maybe the suit would determine
Right.
which
Okay.
one's higher. You could say they're both 4.
Yeah.
So prince
Yeah,
equals
yeah.
4, and then princess. I mean, it's a chauvinistic system. What can I say? But the princess equals 10.
Well, you know,
She is Malkut.
The way that I've always seen it, is, there's a little bit of division whether or not Keter or Chokmah is the one that the king is associated with. Binah is always with Binah, with the queen. And then the prince right here at Tiferet and the princess down here.
Well, yeah, the princess Tiferet, but Tiferet touches all these other. The whole Ruach is an expression of Tiferet.
Okay.
And technically, in the model you're referring to, which is the one that you can extrapolate from a couple of lines in the Zelator initiation, that if Malkut used to be where Da'at is now,
Right.
that means that the entire Ruach unfolded like an accordion with the fall of Malkut, and could be thought of as temporary, but temporary like a rainbow is temporary in that it is eternally existent as a rainbow, but temporarily existent when the sun is hitting the rain just right, and temporarily existent in that there aren't always eyes to look at things in this universe. And that's a temporary thing that started at one point and presumably will end at one point. And that's the Ruach. That's the beauty of the rainbow, of the walls of the vault. But anyway, where were we?
Good shit. Okay, we said that this one would be yours.
Okay, so
And
moving
then we go
forward with our consistent rules. Okay, Huamo.
Oh.
Prince
Hey.
versus king. King wins.
King wins.
It's yours.
All right.
Huamo. High Priestess versus 8.
You
I
got
think
that.
mine's higher.
I'm
yes.
pretty sure.
Huamo. Okay, 4 versus 6. 4
think
is
you
higher.
got that, yeah.
That's simple. Universe versus Hermit. You win.
The universe versus the hermit.
The Hermit wins. Okay, anything beats the 10 of Pentacles. So you got the 4 of Cups, so you win. Okay, so you've got the Hierophant. I've got the 8. You win. Hierophant connects Chokmah with Chesed. I've got a King of Swords. You've got a 6 of Cups. I win. King is up there in Chokmah. Huamo. 7 versus Princess.
You got it.
I win. What's the 7? We're not telling the story. Valor versus the princess wins. Valor wins. King of Pentacles versus Earthly Power. 4. Oh, but the king is up here in Chokmah.
Yeah.
If it was the prince, it would have been interesting.
It would have been, yeah.
It would have been war.
That's yours.
All right. Whammo. 8 versus...
I think the Ace of Wands.
Yeah, the Ace of Wands pretty much takes the cake. That's the equivalent of the Ace of Spades in this game. Whammo.
2 of Cups.
2 of Cups versus Hanged Man. You win. 2 of Cups wins. Love beats the Hanged Man. And the moon is trumped by Material Trouble. Material Trouble wins over nightmares. That's true.
That's true.
That's the 5 of Pentacles, by the way. Okay, so the Princess of Cups versus Material Happiness, the 9 of Cups.
You got just by 1.
Well, I win.
Yeah.
Material Happiness beats the Princess of... I shouldn't say beats the princess. It just doesn't sound right. It's fun to say, but
why not? We beat the universe already.
King of Cups versus the Ace of Cups. Oh, right. You win. Yeah, we already determined kings were Chokmah. That's pretty high up.
That's pretty close.
That's a battle in the ethers, though. Abundance, the 3 of Cups versus the Lovers. Well, the Lovers, Vav... wait.
2,
Hey.
4.
So wait.
5, 6.
Vav.
Very close. Yeah.
Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dal, Hey, Vav. Earlier I said Vav connects. Yeah, okay. Zion, that's the Lovers, connects Binah with Tiferet, which you can kind of remember because Binah's like darkness and Tiferet is that golden light at the center of the Tree of Life. And the Lovers is like, this polarity of light and darkness of the 2 pillars. And so that's the place on the Tree of Life where you find that polarity most clearly represented.
It's like 1, 2...
Well, that
3,
and the Magician.
4, 5, 6. I'm over here.
Oh, yeah, the 3...
Is the Chariot.
The 3 beats the Lovers.
Right.
Because the Lovers connects the 3 with the 6. But, yeah. But the Lovers is the 3...
Oh, I know what I'm doing.
Rescuing the
0,
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see where I made my mistake. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's all Andreas... what was his name? He had such a great name. Kircher was his last name.
Athanasius?
Athanasius Kircher. That was his design, the Jesuit priest in 1627. Emperor versus the Ace of Pentacles. You take it. You win.
It's an ace.
The Emperor has no clothes. No, the Emperor connects Chokmah with Tiferet, and the Ace is obviously Keter. Wham! Ooh. Harmonious Change, 2 versus Material Trouble, 3. Well, Harmonious Change wins.
That one, but that's so funny that it was 2 of Pentacles versus 3 of Pentacles.
Bam! Material Success, 6. Queen of Swords. Queen is higher.
Banana.
You take it.
Banana.
Wham! The Sun versus the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is higher because the Sun connects Yesod with Hod. 9
so
with 8.
What I'm getting at, what I'm thinking right now is that how would you ever have a war in this way that we're playing?
If the Prince of Cups or whatever and the 4 of Cups.
Anything. Okay.
Well, if it was the 4 of Wands versus the Prince of Cups, then the Wands would determine because they're both equal to 4.
Right, so there'd never be a war.
There'd only be a war if they were both the same suit. So if it was the Prince of Wands or whatever versus the 4 of Wands,
okay,
then there'd be a war.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Same with 10 and Princesses, or 2s and Kings, 3s and Queens. So this one's mine. The defeat in the 5 of Swords beats success unfulfilled in Pentacles. Woohoo!
You're right.
My defeat beat your unfulfilled success. Oh, yeah.
Well, my next card was
like
earn success.
Bragging rights. Earn success trumps my unstable effort.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, get it together.
Sometimes these things
put something into it here.
Have the ring of truth. Prince of Swords versus the shortened force 8 of Swords. Well, Prince wins because he potentially could be Chesed. A wham. The Tower versus the Princess of Wands.
Yeah.
The princess is in Malkut. The tower connects Netzach with Hod, so the tower wins.
Pay.
All right.
I paid for
And
that.
my last card, my queen beats your princess. The Queen of Cups beats the Princess of Pentacles.
She is a abusive mother.
So I think it would be abusive to our audience to continue to play the war version of this game. Let's try a blackjack version. Or is that insane?
How would we do that?
I don't know. Let's try it. Okay, I'll be the dealer.
Okay.
Okay. So do you want to be two people? No. Let's start with just being one person. Okay.
Well,
let's just be
switch off on
normal.
on
I'll be the dealer, and we'll see if this even makes any sense at all.
Okay.
How do you bust? I don't know. Let's find out. We could ask David Bowie if we get into a tight spot. Okay.
We have cards that are higher than 21.
So, okay.
So maybe we need to change it to
If we took
number.
out the minor arcana, then of course we could do it. Okay, so you can see that I've got a 7 and a something or other. So you can assume that I've got the value of 17, but I might have the value of not much. Who knows?
But my question is, are we playing at 21 because it's easy to bust?
Yeah,
Or are we playing to another number?
I don't know. Let's find out. So do you want
I can
another
look at
card?
my deck.
Yeah, but
cards.
just don't show me.
Interesting. Hit me.
I think I'm allowed to see when you hit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So how does that factor in?
I'm gonna stay.
Okay, so dealer pays. Okay, well I've got 11, so hit on myself.
18.
17. Dealer pays 18. I've got the 4 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. What have you got?
18.
18. How you figure?
Well, we have the King of Pentacles, which is
2.
10.
Oh, you're by Pentacles,
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, it was 2. Princess of Swords,
which is 10,
which is 10, and then the Sword of Six
Six.
of Swords, so that's 18.
which is 17. So we're tied.
No, it's 18.
Oh, it's wait
10,
6,
6, and 2.
10, 6, and 2. Okay, so but let's see what the story is.
Oh.
So, on one hand, there was earthly power, valor, and victory, but it was all overcome by the Princess of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and earned success. The end. Now that's a fucking fairy tale right there. Okay, let's try this again. I think we're onto something. The Theoricus Poker blackjack version. Okay, here we go.
Blackjack.
All right.
Chicken scratch. Whoa. Alright, I'm busted.
I'm busted too. I'm busted with 2 cards. Judgment, 20, key 20, and High Priestess, key 2. I bust.
Yeah, so I had the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, which was 14, and then I got an extra card from the dealer, which was the 9 of Pentacles, which puts me at 23.
So here's a story in which nobody wins. The story is, on one hand, you have a High Priestess in a state of judgment. And on the other hand, you have oppression, perfected work, and material gain. Wow, that sounds like a profound existential poem about all of us.
Well, it's like fire crossing the abyss through the oppression of the will, creates the perfected work and finishes it, and results in material gain.
Oh, that's a cheerful... See, because what I was picturing was the combination, because these are all one thing, and this is all one thing, and they're separate. So here you have a High Priestess in a state of judgment, but then over there, you've got the combination of perfected work, material gain, and oppression. So it's like, yay, if we just outsource to Micronesia, then everybody's happy over here in L.A. And meanwhile, you have the chick in L.A. who's trying to make a difference, and she hates the whole system, and it's a story in which nobody wins. So what needs to change with this story in order for her to win? This needs to drop down from judgment, from Shin, into Resh. And then it would be 21, and then she would win, and she would beat the system. True. What does that mean? Okay, well that means you move a little higher on the tree. Instead of being Malkut, instead of being a physical being, a temporal stardust mortal with a flesh brain that's using reason to look at the corrupt material nature and thus being in a state of judgment, you uplift yourself into, it's kind of a leap of faith, but into your dream self. Now, you might have some kind of overlaid sense of, oh, well, my dream self is just a blah, blah, blah bullshit. But you and I both know, and by you and I mean your inner child and my inner child, our 3-year-old selves know that the dream self is a very real thing. And whether it leaves or comes, or it's in the head, or it's actually interacting with other beings at one moment to the next, it's kind of all in flux, and it always changes. And really, this is the weird place where everything sticks for a while. But what the fuck was my point? The point is that if you identify yourself with your dream self and then use reason, then you awaken to your actual conscious frontal lobe, neocortex, and then you're identifying with your higher self, and then you can say, I and my higher self are one, and not just be parroting a phrase that somebody told you ought to say. And then you beat the system, High Priestess. You know who you are. You know I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I was talking to her. The person next to you. Yeah, okay.
Check out the thumbs on that hand there. Wow.
No. I was talking to you. Okay. Check out the thumbs on that. He must work out. Okay, what? Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I don't know. How much damage have we done? Should we close with let David Bowie have the last word, or should we? Is there something else you want to try? We should just drill some correspondences. Okay, drill me, because I need to let everybody know my level of ignorance here. So,
all right.
Okay.
What would the 6 of Pentacles be?
6 of Pentacles, success, material success.
Wow, right on.
Is it? Oh, good.
Okay. How about the 8 of Cups?
Unstable effort, I want to say, or illusionary. No, illusionary success, I think is. Oh, blended pleasure. No, that's 4. Unstable effort, I'll go with.
Abandoned success.
Abandoned success.
What was the one you said?
What did I say? I don't know.
Unstable effort is what you said.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Which is the 7 of
Something
Swords.
else. 7 of Swords. I'm way Samsonite. How many Dumb and Dumber references can we make in one Theoricus Poker episode? All right. One more, and then I'll quiz you.
All right, let's do the 2 of Cups.
The 2 of Cups is love.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to do very pitifully here.
Okay, the 8 of Wands. So 8, you got...
I'm trying to think of keywords here.
Okay, turtle, shell. The 64, the I Ching came from a turtle shell. They broke a turtle shell. 8, right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wha! Donatello. He's got a wand, right? Okay.
I have no idea how to...
So 8 of Wands. Swiftness. Flying through the air like Mercury.
There's got to be a system, though, right?
He's Donatello.
I mean,
it was my mom's card.
It's like if you want to know what the path represents, I basically just figure out what the card is.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And then
I used to do that too. I used to be able to read
easy.
really well when I was just doing that. Once they made me memorize this shit, that was when I lost it. Because I would always just be like, okay, we've got the 3 of Cups. Okay, so Binah, the Divine Mother, and Cups, emotions. Okay, so you need to connect with your inner maternal nature, on an emotional level, and not need an external source of your sense of fulfillment that you once had when you were in the womb, and ultimately that you once had when you were an infinite being that had all knowledge before that. And that would be what I'd say. But then I grew up and they told me that it meant what was it? Abundance.
Okay, here's what I get. Okay, so 8 is associated.
Maybe they're both
with
true.
Ode,
Maybe
which is associated with Mercury, right?
Yeah.
Who's fast.
Oh, yeah.
And ones is a very...
Fiery.
Is fire, and fire is very active.
Fiery turtle.
So it's like the active Mercury, swift.
And 64 is the number of squares on the camea of Mercury, which is 8 times 8, which is a chessboard. Also happens to be the number of permutations of the nucleic acids, which gets reduced into the 20 amino acids and the one stop command. The same number of letters and spaces
I command
as...
you to stop.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
It's the
no,
stop
yeah.
command.
No, but there's all kinds of stuff with Mercury and 64 and 8 and swiftness and Donatello.
All right, let's try another one.
Okay. The Two of Pentacles.
Okay. All right, so that's...
I'll give you a clue.
It has to do with money, right? But it's Hokmah, which is the king of money, right?
Harmonious change.
Harmonious change. That is not,
It's the Two of Pentacles.
Work. My trick
So you
didn't
get
work.
2 coins and you shake them. It's harmonious change. It's the picture of the guy where he's squatting down and he's... Or was that 3 of them?
Where does this come from?
Oh, the Golden Dawn or whatever.
Or whatever.
It's the standard. It's like, where does geomancy come from? It's like, well, the Golden Dawn said it came from somewhere prior to them, but all we have is them saying that. But it's like with the LBRP. Where does the LBRP come from? Who developed it? What's the story there? And it's like, well, it's kind of based on some earlier talismans. The Ogla thing was a thing for a while. It seemed to be on Jupiter talismans. And so it must have made sense to someone to put it in the north. As for how long they've been doing it, it's kind of hard to say.
Right.
Was Eliphas Levi doing it? Did someone teach him to do it? I haven't read enough, honestly.
No, the
if
best
I had
guess
read,
is that he never did it, but he compiled stuff.
maybe he put it together. Maybe it was his baby. Who knows? I mean, I think somebody like it's an example of when you do something anonymously. Yeah. Sometimes it really sticks. It really, hits home. But anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
There's got to be a trick. I'll figure it out.
8 of Swords. Just think of, you go outside and it's cold and you're naked. Shortened force. As my dad would say,
shriveled sex offender?
It wilts your wiener.
Shriveled sex offender?
That's what my dad would say. I'm not saying I would say that. I'm saying...
What was it? The 8 of Swords?
Yeah. The 8 of Swords.
So
it wilts your
the
wiener.
intellect of Mercury, which is
Mercury and the intellect. You start thinking about baseball while you're trying to, it's the old... What? I don't know.
Oh, what's the answer?
What is the answer? Oh, should we ask David Bowie? Okay, let's ask David Bowie and then let's wrap up the interview, because otherwise this is going to drag on for way too long. By the way, I'm sorry, everybody. Gila had to cancel. This was supposed to be Gila Nissan and I talking about the Hebrew letter blog that she has. Well, I mean, it's more than that. She's writing books. She's got all kinds of stuff. So you can look forward to that next week. Presumably, that will be Monday, the whatever next Monday is, right?
22nd.
The 22nd?
Well, this coming Monday is the 15th.
So this is the episode that's supposed to come out on the 15th. I might put it out a little early. But the episode on the 22nd, presumably, is going to be my old Hebrew. And not to say that she's old, but she used to be my Hebrew teacher, so that's what I mean when I say my old Hebrew teacher. Yeah, she was my Hebrew teacher for many years, and she spoke at our wedding. And she's a lovely person. She has a lot of insight about the Kabbalah. Very interesting backstory. Hopefully I can get her talking about some of that stuff also. And okay, so let's let David Bowie have the last word. Okay, so we gotta choose the key card. And now, if you don't know what we're talking about with the first, you can Google Theoricus Poker. That'll take you to my blog. It's the one that's Frater Francesco or Frater BT, the soapbox. It'll have the word Esoterinerd there too, so that'll look familiar. For the David Bowie cards, just go to edward-reeb, that's REIB.com / Ask David Bowie. And there's no spaces or anything like that.
There's no bleh in that either.
And so there's instructions there, and you can download it and print it out for free. This is just a gift to all David Bowie fans who also happen to be into stuff like this. Now, we've got Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars is the deck. The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. So, we're going to pull out that deck, and we're going to draw a card to find out what the final word is for this episode. I never thought I'd need so many people. Thought-provoking words from David Bowie. Thank you to Drew Wood for playing Theoricus Poker with me tonight. And thank you to the Open Source Order of the Golden Dawn, which is part of the Unified Order of the Golden Dawn, for teaching my Theoricus Poker to your members, and for providing a link, which I will take advantage of by posting this episode on that page. As always, thank you to the monks on Mount Koyasan for the music you're hearing right now. Thank you to Camille and Kennerly for the lovely harp transitions into and out of the interviews. And thank you to you, the Esoterinerd, who I imagine will soon begin playing Theoricus Poker and downloading a David Bowie Oracle deck. Thank you all for tuning in. Good night.